hitting rush lanes at the same time, and what that balance would be like against a quarterback with the escapability of Dylan Gabriel?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks and nowadays are very mobile quarterbacks. So I think it's very important to be able to rush us forward. I mean, that's what we preach all the time: be able to rush us forward, rush together. Because if we can collapse the pocket and make it harder for him to be able to escape, he really has to make his reads. He has to sit back and throw the ball, and then that's what we want him to do. We want him to be able to make it pressure when he throws the ball every single time. So being able to cage the pocket and collapse the pocket while he's throwing the ball makes it easier for us to make sacks.
Right next door, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Ty, just when you look at that first game not getting any sacks, what do you feel like you guys didn't do well enough as a pass rush that first game, and how can you improve on that this time?
I think it all comes down to technique. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do getting in the game, and we didn't get it done. So I think going into this game, we have to just hone on the smaller things that can help us win against offensive linemen. So being able to go whether that's getting past them or making a certain move to get past them, we know we have to do. So we just have to really hone in on our technique and really do it at that time or that moment. And as I said before, just rushing us forward and going together, I mean, it makes it easier to get a sack.
Front row right, Austin Ward, the podcast.
Ty, when you think back to that first meeting and then having 2 weeks to look at, dissect what happened, try and correct it, how different does the way you guys rush the passer feel now compared to whether that's scheme, whether that's mentality, whatever, working with four? How many changes were made? Did it feel significant to you all in the moment as you were trying to get it fixed?
Yeah, I think Knowles did a good job just helping us, allowing us to, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I mean, he allows the defensive ends to be able to go after the quarterback when they have a chance. In certain plays, we get to do that, and then allowing certain guys and certain blitzes to really mess up what the quarterback is thinking. So it allows us to have more pressure and be able to allow us to do more moves at the time because it makes the offense confused at what we're doing. So by putting blitzes in there really mixes up the pass rush for us and allows us to get sacks.
Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, with that said, like, for example, last Saturday night against Iamalieva. Hey, I said it right, I think. But he was quite elusive and stuff. Was that a good, prep for this week? I mean, because Dylan Gabriel's a little bit different scrambler, but he still gets the job done.
Yeah, that was definitely good to have because, like I said, I mean, all the quarterbacks are very mobile, and being able to have more experience versus mobile quarterbacks helps us, obviously, being able to just help us hone and learn from what we had and had them going through the hole and had them scrambles, what we can learn from those scrambles. And we going from that game and the past game we played against Oregon, just learning the quarterback's tendencies and when they like to run or where they like to run, and it really helps us out, really closing the cage and caging the pocket for them.
Is there a fine line between being aggressive but also being wary? This guy can slip away. You understand what I'm saying, Ty? I mean,
yeah.
You can't just go right at. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's definitely a quarterback and then get outside the pocket. So I mean, he's definitely a threat. He's the main guy on the offense. He runs the show. So I mean, being able to stop him and contain him really slows the offense down. So being able to cage the pocket and be able to slow him down and make him make more decisions on the run or moving around, it really helps us.
Go ahead. Did you have one more, Tim? I'm sorry.
Well, no, I did want to ask about their center. Their center, how impressed were you with him last time you guys played? He seems to have a pretty good game, and he's actually kind of a tough guy to move out of there and stuff.
Yeah.
He looks like. I mean, what's your impression of him?
He's definitely one of the better centers in the conference. I mean, he's a really good guy. I mean, being able to be in there, be the size and be able to move the way he can is really hard to get around him at times. But it's definitely having a game plan and working against and working the tendencies that he has and be able to work against that. It really helps us. Helps me.
Wild, dude.
Yeah.
Fifth row middle, Stephen Leonard, college football dogs.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on that, how much of it was their offensive line being the strength of their team versus Dylan Gabriel being able to escape and the lack of pressures that we had on our defense?
Yeah, I mean, when you got a good offensive line, I mean, it makes it even better for a quarterback, being able to roll out to know that your lineman's going to help you protect you when you're in the pocket. So, I mean, it makes it easier for throws. And it makes it harder for us, honestly, for having a good offensive line. So, I mean, like I said before, just being able to attack that offensive line, attack their weaknesses, and be able to go after them and make it harder for the quarterback makes it harder for them overall.
Fourth row right, Andrew Gillis, Cleveland.com.
What's the challenge, similar to Tim's question, in when you play a team like this that runs the level of RPOs that they do, that runs the RPOs they do? How do you stay true and be aggressive and force the issue where Dylan Gabriel's really good at making those reads?
Yeah, like I said, just putting pressure on them. I mean, just be able to get back there. I mean, we got a lot of different plays that can help us get back there faster and playing to their tendencies. A lot of times they have the RPO. The RPO helps them out. It means to get the ball out fast. I mean, things like Jackson and JT being able to get their hands up, knock the ball down, creates a stream amount of pressure for the quarterback when you got hands in your face all times.
And final questions, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
we've asked about Dylan Gabriel and the receivers. They're not one-dimensional. They have a real good running back in Jordan James. What makes him special, and what's the challenge for you guys?
I think he's definitely one of the better running backs in the conference as well. I mean, just how hard he runs is just it's hard to bring him down at times. So I mean, as a front four, we pride stopping the run. That's the first thing we're going to do as we go on in the game. I mean, pass rushing is good and all, but if we can't stop the run, I mean, they're going to run the ball down and throw all the time. So all the time we have to first figure out how we're going to stop them, how we're going to run the ball, and then we're going to take them down. So I mean, it's our job as a front four to go in there and stop the run. We're going to make them one-dimensional as we go out there. So I mean. If we get out there every time, every mindset we go out there, it means we're going to get them. We're not going to allow them to get any yards, allow them to get going. We're going to stop them. We're going to make them throw the ball.
When JT was up here, I asked him about kind of compare and contrast him and Jack, his personalities. What's your take on that? How different are they as just personalities?
I definitely think Jack is more outgoing. I mean, the guy, I mean, he's like the light that shines around. I mean, everybody grows around him and everybody loves him. He's an outgoing guy that come to you, shake your hand any time of day. And then JT's more of the glue guy. I mean, a lot of guys gravitate to him. I mean, he just has a bright smile on him all the time. He's just a great guy that people like to be around. And they're two good people, so it's hard to tell.
And Ty, I do have one more question for you. Tony Erdman, Buckeye Hub.
You guys obviously have faced tempo. You did it last week. What's the key for you as a defensive lineman facing tempo?
Yeah, I mean, we've been going through it all week in the past 2 weeks is just getting set. I mean, that's the first thing you do. If you're not set, I mean, it makes it hard to do your job. So us being able to get on the ball, get set before they're lined up and snap the ball is one of the more important things. So when we're set, we're able to do our jobs at the efficiency before they can do theirs.
How difficult is that?
It can be difficult at times. You know, you got to look to the sideline first. You got to get the call. I mean, the call has to be set down first. So it can't be difficult at times, but that's definitely what we've been working on the past few weeks is just get a call early, get set, so we can go and play faster.
Is there ever a time where you're like, you've chased a play to one side of the field, and now it's lined up, they're going to be heading to the other side, so like you're just running sideline to sideline just to get it.
Yeah, I mean, that happened a lot last game. You know, it's hard. It's definitely tough. I mean, that's what we work on in practice, just moving as fast as we can. We're simulating these things so we can get into the game. It's a lot easier. So we're moving around side to side, running around, doing extra conditioning just for moments like this. Yeah.